Hello all, welcome back to Fixing It Blind. Today we got a weed whipper here, one of the Remington ones. We're going to put new cord on it. These ones here are almost worn out. So first thing we do is we're going to unscrew this, and we're going to want to hold this outside part down because it is under spring tension. Now usually it's not that big of a deal. It usually won't shoot off because it's packed with grass and goo. So what we got to do is we got to go ahead and we got to pull this out. Like I said, it doesn't usually just want to come out. Some things to keep in mind is if there's still some string left on it, you want to see which way it is wrapped, and then this spring right here, go ahead and put that back on here so we don't lose that, okay? Now, you can see on this one here, we have got two separate rows, okay? To wrap these, you got one for the top and one for the bottom. Some might only have one, some might have two. And some of them you have to wrap each one separate. Now what this one is you can see right in here, it's bent in half. Alright, so I went and grabbed just a bunch of this, probably about 15 feet of it. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab it by both ends here. So I have both ends in one hand. Okay, get those lined up. And then we'll pull them through this hand to the other hand. And they're getting tangled up on the tripod. Hold on one second here. And we want to get to the middle of the weed whipper string. Okay, now we're at the middle. We're close to it. What we're going to do is we're going to take this, and right here is a slot. Okay, let's see. You can see that cut in there. It's cut at an angle. Okay, so you can only wrap this one way. Some of them are a little more confusing, but this one's pretty easy. You cannot put it on this way because when you go to wrap it, it'll pull right out. So you get it on here, get it in the slot, and then just start wrapping. You want to keep it good and tight because you don't want this to come undone and start tangling inside of your inside of the spool here, inside the weed whipper head. Okay. You can use whatever brand you like to use. I prefer the Gator brand of string. I've just had good luck with it. I like their lawnmower blades. I like their weed whipper strings. It seems to last quite a while. Okay, now we're getting towards the end here. Let's see how much we can put on there. Alright, now what we need to do is we need to take one off one side and one off the other. So we're going to feed one through the hole here. Okay. And get that pulled out a good distance. And kind of keep pressure with your thumb on the coiled the coiled cable here. And then get the other side through. Okay, and then what we're going to do is we're going to kind of pull this down and let it slide onto the shaft there. And make sure that she pulls tight. And grab our knob here. It's got a little plastic knob. This is the part that strikes the ground. Oops, sorry. This part strikes the ground, pushes this in, and that's what allows a little bit extra line to come out when your line gets short. Okay. Now to test it, we're going to put a little bit of pressure on the lines, push down on here, and it should turn just a little bit. See, like that? And that's how we know she's not binding, and we're good to go. Then what we want to do is I just have these handy, so I'm going to use these. But we want to cut the lines, and we want to cut them, about 6 to 8 inches, somewhere in there. Okay? Now they will clearance, themselves, because you have on here, over here, down here in the corner, we've got this cutting edge. And what happens is they'll come around, they'll spin, they'll hit that edge, and that's what actually cuts it to length. You can see we're just shy of that. Once we fire it up, we can just bump it on the ground and she'll come back out. Again, this is on a Remington weed whipper. It's a 25cc shaft, or not shaft, flexible head. If you have any questions, leave a comment and let me know. Thank you. Bye.